Hello, my name is Mr. Liker, and today we will be learning how to use the Polar E600 heart rate monitor. To use the E600, you will first need to get three pieces of equipment: a transmitter, an elastic strap, and a wrist receiver or watch. You should have already been issued your own personal strap, so bring that. For the transmitter and watch, you should have been also assigned a number by your teacher. Please pick up the transmitter and watch which corresponds with the number you were assigned. Now that you have your equipment, let's get set up. First thing you need to do is wet down your transmitter electrodes. On the interior side of the transmitter, there are two electrodes. You can't miss them. You need to use a drinking fountain or water that your teacher has provided and get those nice and wet. This is the only way to ensure good connection. After that, take your strap and hook one side of it into an eyelet on one side of the transmitter. Next, place the transmitter so the center of the transmitter is right over the very bottom of your sternum or breastbone. After that, attach the other side of the strap to the transmitter. Remember to make sure that the transmitter is nice and snug. You don't need to cut off your circulation or anything, but make sure that it is held in place or you will not get a good connection. Now that the transmitter is in the right place, let's focus on the watch. Put the watch on like any other watch. Doesn't matter what wrist you have it on. Next, let's look at the buttons. There are 6 buttons on the E600, but fortunately you will only need to familiarize yourself with 2 of them for what we are going to do today. Notice that the red button is in the center, just underneath the screen, and that the blue button is the one on the bottom left side. These are the only 2 buttons we will be using today. All watches should currently be at the time of day screen, but in case it is not, press the blue button on your watch a couple times. This should get you back to the starting point. At this point, you want to hit your red button once. This will engage the watch to start looking for your heartbeat. It is important at this time you're not standing right next to someone else who has a transmitter on, because the watch can pick up multiple heartbeats, or worse, the other person's heartbeat altogether. Look at the little heart on the bottom left side of the screen. Hopefully, it is flashing and picking up a heart rate. In about 10 seconds, it should outline that flashing heart rate with a line, as shown in the illustration. When this happens, the watch has locked onto your heart rate. This is good. This is what we want. If it doesn't happen, you may have to readjust the transmitter to get a better connection, or move away from somebody else who's also wearing a heart rate transmitter. After you got an outlined heart on your watch, you may press the red button one more time. This will start the clock for the duration of your exercise session. You may now start your activity. While you're working out, you may notice a few things about your E600. First, the watch will be recording 3 things. The bottom number, which is next to the little heart, is your current heart rate. The number above that is the total time you've been exercising for. And the number above that with the TZ next to it is the amount of time you've been in your target heart rate zone. Now, your target heart rate zone, your own personal one, should have been programmed into the watch by your teacher. Okay? So as long as you're wearing the watch that you were assigned, everything should be correct. You are wearing your assigned watch and transmitter, right? You will also notice some beeping as you get started. When your watch is beeping, it means that you're either working below or above your target heart rate zone. So if your heart rate's too low, you need to step it up a notch. If it's too high, relax, take it a little bit easier until your heart rate goes back into that zone. If you're not hearing any beeping, that is good. That means you are working out within your target heart rate zone, which is what we want. Remember, working out within your target heart rate zone is the most beneficial way to improve your cardiovascular fitness. When your exercise session is over, you will need to follow some basic steps. First, press the blue button on your watch twice. This should take you back to the time of day screen, which was the screen that you started with. Because you've been working hard and sweating, you should probably wipe down the transmitter and maybe the watch with the cleaning solution your teacher has provided. After that, return your transmitter and watch to the appropriate spaces in the carrying case. Make sure you match the numbers up. Your teacher will then download the data from your session at a later time to evaluate your progress. So it's just that simple. The more you go through this process, the more familiar it will become, and the quicker you'll be able to set up your E600 so you can get the most out of your workouts instead of fiddling around with your transmitter and watch. Thank you, and go North Stars.